Tom, you've been doing this a long time. You've been with Tradition from the very start. You've seen the ups, the downs of the business. How do you feel that the market has really changed since the beginning of your career? Rates were really high at first, then they were really low, then COVID hit and they were even lower, and now all of a sudden inflation hits and you see rates where they are. How do you see your clientele? How has that changed over the years? How are you still able to help them? And how are you doing? What are you seeing?
You know, it's interesting because when we started Tradition, it was 1999, rates were at like 8.5 or 9. And since then, they've fallen all the way down into the 2s with the real estate recession and then with COVID. And coming out of COVID, when inflation kind of came into play, rates spiked. They went from 2s all the way up into the 7s, actually. They've kind of settled down a little bit. But so as a company, we've been kind of riding this reducing rate market, which has been wonderful. But, you know, that's kind of gone now. And you have a very large portion of what we used to sell, which was refinances, you know, taking people's high rates down to lower rates. That's kind of gone. And so what's happened in our industry is the market has become very, very competitive because there's very limited amount of business compared to what there used to be. And it's also become very commoditized. It's like people race to the internet, and if you go on the internet and you're looking for the lowest price, you're gonna find it. I mean, if you go and look up anything on the internet, you're gonna find a lower price. And so for us to be advertising rates and price, it's just not who we are. Like, you won't see us out on the internet or in an ad or a newspaper, radio, television, marketing our rates or fees. That's not what we do. We have a very good product, but that's just kind of a given. If we don't have a good product, we're not going to have any business. So what we do is, you know, it's a personal touch. There is no 1-800 number. There is no automated phone bank. There is no block of loan officers that are answering calls. It's a one-on-one relationship business. So for me, I seek out relationships with financial advisors, home builders, real estate agents. A big one would be Education Minnesota. We have a direct relationship where we're endorsed lender for Education Minnesota. And the value really comes from the amount of time and energy we put in up front with people. We'll ask questions. We'll say, what are your goals? And we'll listen. We won't send them to an application. We won't say fill out a form. We won't say give us an application fee. We'll just listen. Because while mortgages can be very commoditized and you hear the term, you know, push button, get mortgage, it's really not like that. That's not really how it works. How it works is you have to listen and understand what these people are trying to accomplish and then kind of work backwards and get them, you know, what they need in that manner.
Well, I think the other thing too is a lot of people think of this just as, like you said, just a push button type of business. Don't you think it's more of a relationship business, just like any other marketing business or something where they're helping clients?
It is for us.
Right.
I worked for a big bank back when I started, and that's not what it was.
Right.
It was a machine. You worked there with me. And I learned a lot, but the thing that I didn't enjoy was that if they didn't fit in the box, they were out. Mm-hmm. If they didn't come through the drive-through and they took the number 1, 2, or 3, there was nothing left to take.
Yeah.
And so Tradition, our strengths, our creativity, being nimble, meaning we control everything from A to Z. It's our money, it's our documents, it's our underwriting. So all the decisions are in-house. And the biggest thing is that we actually care. Mm-hmm. Because I know that when I interact with that individual, whoever it is, whatever client it is, they came to me through a relationship. They didn't come to me from the internet, from a newspaper ad, from TV. They came to me from a relationship to me that matters, that I've invested time in, that I have a responsibility to. And I need to hold up my end of the bargain. Mm-hmm. For example, with Education Minnesota, that's our biggest relationship. If I get a teacher that's referred to me from an event that they attended, and I drop the ball and I don't call them back or I give them sloppy service, that's going to go back to Education Minnesota or the financial advisor or the builder. And that's going to be a really bad reflection on me, which is really going to hurt my business. Again, being a relationship-based business. Mm-hmm. So it takes time, and it takes you investing in the client. You have to answer the phone, you have to return the emails, you have to listen. Once you've done that, then it's pretty easy. But if you send somebody, if I go somewhere into a situation and I ask a salesperson, here's what I'm thinking, and they just give me this pitched, canned, sales presentation, it's kind of off-putting. You really want to have something tailored. And it's no secret, it doesn't take that much effort or energy, you just have to listen, is what it boils down to.